Coffee Time, brought to you and powered by by amino acids, by Optimal Nutrition, and then also by the coffee of the Strong Coffee Company. Write to both of those companies and tell them that they should, each give you 5 grand a month. That'd be really nice. But here we are, YouTube and Twitch. Let's go. Listening to some podcasts, enjoying the view, enjoying life. It's a bold, blessed, beautiful Tuesday. Let's get to it.
The Palm Beach Police Department was aware of 23 underage victims, and that prosecutor only called them. So it's very obvious to me that that was a cover up.
Jeez. And then the matter was sealed. But didn't he have a sex offense under his belt after that or something?
Well, here's what happened. So when that grand jury came back and said that Jeffrey Epstein had a single child, Michael Ryder, who was one of the heroes in this story, he was the chief of Palm Beach Police Department. He got very vociferous. He raised a king, and he said, it, and he went to the feds, and they said, this is obvious malfeasance by this grand jury, and you've got to do something. So the feds were going to get into it. They were going to arrest Jeffrey Epstein. Well, they were talking that there was going to be a grand jury, and then all of a sudden the grand jury was adjourned, and there was this really unctuous deal made. And I've got the emails between the assistant U.S. attorney and one of Epstein's attorneys, Jay Lefkowitz, and Emery Villafanov was the assistant U.S. attorney. And they're talking about how they can minimize Epstein's sentence. And then one of the emails says, and the deal that they made was so corrupt that they had to go to a special magistrate to sign off on it. And basically what that deal did is it exonerated everyone. It exonerated the procurers, it exonerated the perpetrators. Jeffrey Epstein had to plead guilty to a single count of child abuse. He was sentenced to 18 months in a county jail. He did 13, and he had his little wing of the jail decked out like the Taj Mahal. So, he could go out during the day. So he was molesting girls during the day while he was, supposedly doing.
He was doing like nights there?
Yeah, he only had spent nights. Yeah.
Also, this was 2008. He got arrested. Technically, he did serve time technically in 2008 for what, like 13 of the 18 months.
So yeah, he did 13. But here's the deal with that.
Hanging out with all these people.
But here's the deal with that.
Yeah.
The big chick was hanging out with him after that.
Just still chill.
Yeah. The feds had a list of 32 Epstein papers. 32. And they did nothing with any of that. And according to Alexander Acosta, who is the U.S. attorney in the Southern District of Florida, he was told to back away from Epstein because Epstein was quote unquote intelligence. So, and to the kind of power that is required to get the U.S. attorney to stand down can be done by two people. It can be done by the attorney general. It can be done by the president. So that's how high the strings were pulled. Same with Franklin. The strings were pulled at the very apex of power.
Jesus, man. That's terrifying. That's terrifying.
It doesn't speak well of our society.
Yeah, I would see you on Good Morning America. But it's, I don't know, isn't it just, they're just clearly intelligence. Like there's no real debate here anymore, right?
Well, it's kind of interesting.
How else can this be done?
New York Magazine conscripted 6 quote unquote experts on Epstein, and I was one of them. And I cut my teeth with Epstein in 2012, and I acquired his black book in 2012. And I tried to sell an article about his black book, and nobody in the mainstream media wanted to touch it. Finally, Gawker was there, touched it, and then we put his black book up on the internet along with a bunch of his
With all the names and stuff?
What was
the black book?
the names of, the names went to Mount Olympus.
Yeah.
And the black book. He had like 22 contact numbers for Clinton and 17 contact numbers for.
Why would they keep a book? I don't understand why they would keep a record of that. Probably so you don't get in prison. Yeah, maybe.
That's people like that are very arrogant and they think that they can get away with everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had Jeffrey Epstein had been trafficking children probably since 1995, and and actually the first time he was reported was 1996 to the FBI, and nothing happened. So he thought that he could, could do anything he wanted.
Yeah, the one thing that was interesting, the guy who got the black book, who took it out of there, who took it out of Epstein's possession, I think he got 18 months in jail. He got the same crime punishment as Epstein did
For moving the book,
except
he had to go to except he had to go to a real prison, a federal.
yeah, federal prison.
What? It's
The guy who stole the black book.
I know.
Let him know.
Alfredo Rodriguez purloined it. He was at Epstein's house manager and purloined the book, and it ultimately, and then he tried to sell it to a lawyer that was launching civil suits at Epstein because he was representing these underage victims. And it's pretty interesting. So Alfredo Rodriguez approached the lawyer. The lawyer went to the FBI. The FBI did a sting and got the black book, and then that's kind of how I got the black book. Can't really give the source, but Alfredo Rodriguez circled the names of people that he felt were part of Epstein's network, and there's a lot of names that are circled, and it's kind of interesting. Virginia Giuffre, who was one of Epstein's victims, has named a number of the same people. He circled the names of people that he felt were part of Epstein's network, and there's a lot of names that are circled, and it's kind of interesting. Virginia Giuffre, who was one of Epstein's victims, has named a number of the same people.
Thank you. What an education. I say indubitably. Yes. Yes. I do say. I do say. Pigeon pole. Fucking bullshit. Come on. Yeah, well. Dios. Ay. Oh. Oh my God. La 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 la. Well, that's just not the case sometimes. Here we go, collapsing down. Reaching forward. Ah, yes. Yeah, right. That's a lot. Okay. Dios mío. Mhm. Oh. Oh, la, 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 la. Santa Maria. Oh. Yeah. All right. All right now, everybody. See you again soon. Thank you, Cam. Yeah. Rock and roll in the free world.